Well, we are officially down just over 5 kilos now since I started out working out about a week ago. Down 5 kilos, which I'm absolutely stoked about. The first 2 or 3 are really good, really easy to come off. And the last couple have been a little bit interesting, but we're getting down. But today I'm going to talk to you about what we need to do to actually get this car ready for Bathurst, because there is a whole lot of stuff that goes into a preparation for an event like Bathurst that some people may not realise, especially for a small car like an XL. It's not something you want to go there and half-assed, to be honest. You want to go there and make sure that you are fully prepared. So we're going to come up with a list of stuff that we need to do to get this car ready to go and tackle the mountain. Let's go have a chat. All right, so the very first thing we need to do is we need to do a big check on everything on this car, just to make sure that everything's right. Check your suspension, your brakes, brake lines, everything like that. Engine, fittings, just to make sure nothing is going to go wrong when we get down to Bathurst. It is a place you don't want to go and have anything go wrong. Yes, I'll be taking spares of a lot of stuff, but if we can prevent changing stuff down there because we do our prior preparation here at home, that is awesome. I will be taking a spare gearbox down. I will be taking a spare engine down, potentially, just to make sure that we are fully prepared. If anything goes wrong, we can then just drop a new gearbox in, drop a new engine in, and we're still there able to race. It's a lot of money to spend to go down there and compete and not be able to fully race or fully enjoy the experience because you're worried about things going wrong all the time. The next thing, we still have a big ding in the front of our hood from the very first race meet I competed in about a year and a half ago. And so we have a new bonnet that has to go on the car. Currently it is purple. I'm going to change the underside of it to a different color, and then I'll be fully wrapping the bonnet again, much like this car. In fact, we may actually be wrapping this car completely again and have a whole new design. If I pick up a sponsor, we'll probably put it on the car as well. So preparing this car, wrapping it, things like that. I've got new fenders there that I potentially could make a little bit lighter. Nothing illegal, it's just when you roll the guards, there's a few tabs there you may have to get rid of because you don't want to hitting the tires and stuff like that. The weight difference is negligible, it's really, really small. But compared to the guards I've got on it, I took the indicator lights off the side, fiberglass the back, put body filler on it, and then that's adding extra weight to it as well. The other thing we have to do is we're putting a new dash in this car, and it is hot today, I'm sweating. We've got a new dash here, which I'll be making a video on shortly. In fact, I'll show you right now. We have a new fiberglass dash to go in the car. Now this thing, if you're still using a stock standard dash, this thing is absolutely insane. I put this on a scale, a luggage scale, recently. This thing is 2.5 kilos. Compared to the stock dash, this thing is insane. So you can see here I didn't get the full center section that comes with it. I just got the half dash just to save weight. And then if you remember back, for those who've been watching my videos for a long time, if you remember back when I built this car, I pulled this dash out, and where the air vents are for the demister on the front, near the windscreen, I again fiberglass there, put body filler in there. The air vent holes, put body filler in there. The gauge pod hole, oh, sorry, not the gauge, any hole or any gap that needed filling, I fiberglass behind it and put body filler in it. Now, you may think, it looks awesome. That dash in that car is heavy. It is insanely heavy. I reckon switching over to this dash, we may save up to 10 kilos, which is a significant amount when you think that I'm competing right now at about 1,070 kilos, and most guys are about 1,000. So I'm carrying 70 kilos extra weight with me in the car. So by me working out and losing weight off my guts and me stripping weight out of the car, the things that I can actually touch, we're going to make this car lighter and potentially make it much faster. So New dash will be going in the car before Bathurst. We have new shifter linkages or shifter cables going in the car. The ones that are in there have never been changed. And when I go to change, they are getting worn out, and it's very clunky going in and out of gear. So I think there's another problem with that there that I'll touch on when I go to change those and pull the dash out. But we'll be changing shifter cables. The next thing, wheels. I mentioned this before in a previous video. I'm sweating. I've got 4 of the Zenith racing wheels, and these things are the duck's nuts. I absolutely love these wheels. Compared to the Koyas I used to run, the Zenith racing wheels are light, they are strong, and they look the absolute goods on the car. I'll be getting 2 more of those. Now, I do have 4 Koyas here that I can set up for wet tyres to take down to Bathurst. That being said, I'm contemplating selling those Koyas, okay, and getting another set of Zenith racing wheels. So potentially picking up 6 new tires, 6 new wheels to go down to complement the 4 that are already on the car. Reason being is it just gives me more flexibility for tires and stuff like that in the future. We have to run the same diameter and the same offset, everything, the same type of wheel. All the measurements have to be the same. You can have different types of wheels, but given the fact that the Zeniths are different to the Koyas, by having all the same wheel, it just makes life much easier for me in the future. So that is something I'm contemplating, of selling the Koyas, the silver ones, and they have Dunlops on there already, and getting another set of Zenith racing wheels to stick on the car. The other thing is tires. There's no point having wheels if you don't have tires. So I have to have 6 marked tires for Bathurst. Whether or not I buff those is still something I am contemplating. From what people said, you got to buff them, mate. You get more speed out of buffing them. I'll contemplate that. If I do that, I'll probably want to put a whole new set of wets ready to go that are not buffed, untouched. Maybe just road them a little bit at a practice day. Take the wax and the shine off them so they are ready to go. But I'm still contemplating how I want my tyres to run. So we can take 6 tyres that are marked and 4 wets. So that is another thing we have to worry about there. We need to prepare our trailer, taking the car down, wheel bearings, checking that over, checking all the electrics, making sure it's all good to go. We need to service my car, okay, service my wife's car, service the race car, which is, it's easy to say that, yeah, it's simple. There's so much we have to do to get this thing ready. For my Navara, for example, I've got bash plates on it. I've got to drop all the bash plates off just to change the oil, get to the oil filter, things like that. My wife's car it's a Toyota Kluger. It's really simple. This car's even easier. So just little things like that that you really don't think about before you go down. I'm going to be camping down there. So I've got all my camping gear that I need to go through and inspect and make sure that's all good to go. I do want to get a 3x3 gazebo with walls and put it behind the marquee that I'll be pitting in. And I'll explain why. Those marquees, whilst they're fantastic and it provides a space for you to work on the car, there's not much space around the car or behind it to put tools, everything like that. So what I plan on doing is putting a 3x3 out there. I know some people park their car behind it. My car and our camping spots are not too far from the pit bays. So by having that there, I can set up a table, have all my tools and stuff ready to go, all my fuel back there, and just give myself some extra space. Knowing how many people are actually coming down from my family to watch me race, just having that little bit of extra space will be awesome, and then gives me space to get changed for races and stuff like that. It could be cold down there. This year it was actually pretty warm, so it actually gives you more space, shade and stuff like that too. We've got our tool chest that we're working on. Now you can't see it here, but I am starting to build up a bit of a tool chest, our Milwaukee setup, to put everything in. So we've got, like, at the moment I'm taking milk crates down with all the gear to race meets and big tubs. I want to be able to just sort all that out. So that's another thing we've got to do. I've got a second set of front uprights for our brake system. We run the Elantra hubs and rotors, purely for simplicity, and I find better braking. Bigger brake rotor, bigger brake pad, and I find it's just really efficient for me in the car. For the weight that I'm carrying in this car, it's a really good option for me when I'm out racing. So I've got a whole new set of knuckles there that I need to set up and put together, new studs, bearings, new seal kit for the caliper, everything like that. Along with that, we need some brake rotors. Now I've got a set of brake rotors over there. I want to take, sounds crazy, 2 spare sets of rotors to Bathurst. Hear me out, I'll explain why. I run the W4, WinMax 4 brake pad in my car. I want to have a set of rotors and pads matched to the brake pad. So when I go to bed the brakes in a practice day, I'll have a set of rotors matched for right-hand side brake pads and left-hand side brake pads. I also want to have a brake rotor that's matched to a WinMax 6.5, which I have as well. I don't want to go to Bathurst with 1 pad option, I'd rather go with 2. Some people may even go with 3. I'm happy with 2. So I'll take the 6.5s, I'll get a new set of WinMax 4s, and then I'll take another whole set of spare rotors as just in case. Now the rotors I run are $79 a set. The reason being is the simplicity of actually just changing rotors is it's like a 5-minute job. So I can take one set off when they're cooked, put a new set on, and there's no big time. I don't have to change bearings and things like that. They just slip fit on and off, and away we go. So having a spare whole set is just really beneficial to me going down to Bathurst. Making sure our brake lines are fine, checking out suspension, everything like I've mentioned in the part there. The radio system in my car. Last round, radio system wasn't functioning quite right. Now I've gone and purchased another radio to match the radio my dad uses, Kenwood. I think it's a 3710 Free Talk. So we've got 2 matching radios now, which make life much easier if we need to change things out. The beautiful thing about the Kenwood is if you have an issue with one of them, the pinout for the radio system and the headset is the same as a Baofeng you get on eBay. Now I've got a couple of those. One's for the camera inside the car. I have another set there so my kids can listen to me when I'm racing. If I need to take one of those off them or out of the car to change out the Kenwood because it's not working, I can. So that is a beautiful thing about the Kenwood is they're interchangeable with the Baofeng and the pinout system. That's one of the reasons why I went for the Kenwood. I'll be taking out the radio harness that I made up for this car, and I'll be putting in an actual harness made for race cars by professional setup. The one I did has been fantastic. It's worked great when it works, but just trying to eliminate any issues that could happen by the time we get to Bathurst by putting a new radio harness in, I'll be doing that. The switch or the paddle shift I've got to activate my radio system. The micro switch has actually come loose and the magnet, so I just need to fix that up as well. So as you can see, heaps of stuff to get done, a lot of minor stuff, some big stuff, but in the end, when the car is right and it's perfect and you take it to Bathurst, it can be a really enjoyable time. I don't want to go down there unprepared. I don't want to go down there thinking if I'd only done this, could we have had a better opportunity to have fun and be somewhat competitive down there. I'm a realistic person. I know I probably won't be challenging for a race win down there, but if I can go and put my best foot forward, have a great time, make it enjoyable, not only for me, but my family who helps me work on the car at race meets, then absolutely doing these little things before I leave will be fantastic. So, heaps to do. There's probably stuff that I haven't even thought about yet that we need to do to this car. But at the end of the day, if I can actually, like I said, prepare early and not stress about things leading up to the event, I can focus on getting the other thing, like all the camping stuff and stuff prepared later on. The other thing I need to do is I need to get my ass in a simulator. It's one thing to go, yeah, I'm going to go race at Bathurst, but if you are not prepared to go and race at Bathurst and knowing the track, yes, you've seen it on video, but simulator session is really, really good. So if anyone's out there that has a simulator in the Brisbane area and is willing to allow me to use it, just to get my head around the track and racing it in a car, I'd be extremely grateful. I don't, like I said before, going down that unprepared is something I don't want to do. So if I could just, the 1%ers, tick those off, I'll be absolutely thrilled to be able to do that. So over the coming weeks, we'll be figuring out everything with this car. The first thing we're going to be doing, we have to sand back this dash, paint it. I'm going to use a matte black. I was going to flock it. Flocking kit I looked up is about 180 bucks, and to be quite honest, a couple of cans of spray paint I think was like 30 or 40 bucks. The other money I could spend on things like brake rotors and stuff for Bathurst. So I will be painting that, getting it ready, getting it in the car. Getting it in the car is not a simple process because I have to take part of the roll cage out, my bolt-in roll cage, to get the other cage out. I'll get the other dash out and put the new dash in once I've drilled holes to cover the roll cage. So that is another project in itself. There is another project I'm slowly working on, which I'll be talking about as well. Make myself a tyre rack to take down there, and at home, stick tyres on, keep everything neat so they're not just sitting out wherever. Lots to do. I need to get cracking. I've got 3D parts I need to print, and even though it's late December, we've got 4 months. That 4 months can go very, very quickly. So time to hook in, get stuff done, and see where we end up. But I think we're on track. If there's anything else that you guys have, if you guys have been to Bathurst that I haven't mentioned or even probably thought about, please let me know, because I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's stuff that is the little things that you probably don't think about, but make a big difference. The other thing is I need to get the car on the dynos. Way more stuff to get. Anyway, so much to do. I think we're on track, but it won't happen if I continue standing here talking, so we need to hook and get it done. So next video, I'll be working on this dash, getting that in the car, and making sure we get this car as light as possible before we take on the mountain. I'll see you next time, guys, where we put a new dash in the car. I'll see you later. Bye.